Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the final group stage match coverage on the Commentary Hub. I'm your alternative commentator, Nicholas Jones, and tonight it is Cameroon against Brazil, plus all the updates plus goal updates and table updates in the including the game between Serbia and Switzerland. As and when we can. So Brazil top group. So Brazil already through to the qualifying rounds on 6 points, and it's all to play for between Switzerland, Cameroon, and Serbia. For Cameroon, a win is a must for them because they capitulate. Because despite putting up a brave fight against Switzerland in their opening match, they lost 1-0. They somehow clawed their way back with a point in their last game against Serbia, but they have to win and hope that Serbia, I should say, beats Switzerland by 1 goal or more. As for Brazil, they've already qualified, as I mentioned. They only now need a point to top the group. And unfortunately, however, the list of players injured could be costly for them. But they do have what looks to be a strong lineup. And the game is at the Lusail Iconic Stadium, which will host the World Cup final. Will this be a prelude to Brazil's progress throughout the knockout stages? We shall see. There's plenty of Brazil and Cameroon fans inside the stadium. So what we're going to do now is go through the teams, starting with Cameroon. In goal is number 16, I should say. Davis Apasi, number 4, Christopher Wu, number 19, Collins Fai, number 24, Enzo Obose, number 25, Nu Tolo, number 6, Nicolas Ngamelu, number 8, Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa, number 13, Maxime Choupo-Moting, number 15, Pierre Koundé, number 20, Brian Mbomo, and number 10, the captain, Vincent Abou-Kabar. For Brazil, in goal is number 25, Edison, number 23, Dani Alves, the captain. Number 14, Eder Militao, number 16, Alex Telles, number 24, Bremer, number 8, Fred, number 15, Fabinho, number 19, Anthony, number 21, Rodrigo, number 18, Gabriel Jesus, and number 26, making his first start in a Brazil shirt, Gabriel Martinelli. So the players now gathering around on the centre of the pitch for the national anthems. For Cameroon, the exit door could beckon, but they might just do it against Brazil. Neymar is one of the players that are injured, and he's sitting on the touchlines, looking pretty sulky in my view. So we now prepare for the national anthems, and we'll start with the national anthem of Cameroon.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Brazil.
So that was the national anthems of both Cameroon and Brazil, sung by both fans, players, and management. And we can now go through our match officials for this evening. And our referee is Ismail Elfath of the United States. His assistants, Carl Atkins and Corey Parker. Fourth official is Ma Ning of China. And the fifth official, the reserve assistant referee, I should say, Xi Chang. On VAR is Alejandro Hernandez of Spain. And his assistant VAR, Juan Martinez. The offside VAR is Paul Sabrian, and the standby video assistant referee Ricardo de Burgos, and on standby assistant is Roberto Diaz. So this is definitely make or break for Cameroon, and Paul James says good afternoon, good evening, good afternoon to you, Paul. Hope you're doing okay, and I enjoyed listening. I enjoyed listening to you. I enjoyed listening to you and JB earlier on today, and we can now. And the game between Cameroon and Brazil should be ready to start momentarily. We're going to go through the lineups for Cameroon with Apasi in goal, then the back four of Nu, Ubosi, Wu, and Fai with Ngamelu, Kunde, Zamba Gisa, and front. And I think up front is Kunde, Mbemo, and Abu Kabad. So we'll wait for the lineup for Brazil very shortly. Fred is on a yellow card, and it's a 4-2-3-1 formation. Teles, Brema, Mitalo, Alves, then Fred, Fabinho, Martinelli, Rodrigo, Anthony, and Jesus, the lone striker. So Danilo, Alexandro, and Neymar will sit this one out. But there are still plenty of options available for Brazil, including Rafinha and Richarlison. So the Brazil players now getting into a huddle. They're actually wearing blue and white, as they're actually playing in blue and white to avoid clashing with Cameroon, wearing as ever the red, yellow, and red. The green, red, and yellow, I should say, which of course reflects the colours of their homeland. it'll be Brazil. It will be Brazil to kick off first, with Jesus poised and over the ball. The referee signals that everything is okay, and away we go then for this crucial match for Cameroon as they play Brazil. And Brazil have the early touch of the ball, and that was through. I think that was Bremer to I think that's Alves. Now back towards Bremer. Now passes down wing to Telles, but almost given away to Cameroon, and it will be a corner to be taken by Collins Fye. Collins Fye poised to take the corner for Cameroon. He does. He throws to I think that was Choupo-Moting, and Choupo-Moting now to I couldn't see who it was, but Brazil have managed to take it back, and it was almost given away back to Fye for Cameroon, and Fye will once again take the throw-in. So throw-in to Cameroon, and almost picked up by Boucabar. So difficult to see who is in the most possession. It's early days, yes, and Gianni Infantino. And Gianni Infantino in the stands looking as bored as ever. Ball been passed around to Ederson in goal, but he's managed to pass it out to, I think that was Mitayo. Yes, indeed, it was Mitayo. And Brazil now looking to make a break early on. And in fact, it looks like it. I think that's Bremer with the ball, and it was headed towards Anthony, I think, but cut out very well by Cameroon. And now the ball is with Gabriel Jesus, and Jesus now passing to, I think that was Anthony, but deflected away by Cameroon. It was in fact Eder Mitayo. So good efforts early on by Brazil. The ball is now back with Bremer. Now it's been passed around to Mitayo. And it looks, and to me, and it looks like that Brazil, and it looks like that Serbia and Switzerland have already kicked. Serbia and Switzerland may have already kicked off as well. We'll let you know when. We'll let you know when a goal. We'll let you know when a goal comes in, as and when we can. So a throw in to Cameroon to be taken by Nuhu Tolo. And Tolo throws to Choupo-Moting, and I think it was almost sent down wing to Mboma. And in fact, it has been, but a couple of Brazilian players raised their hands in protest. Likely he would have been offside. Or was it? Or did it actually come off his hand? I think it may have done. They were right to call him out, and. But Cameroon aren't giving this one up by any stretch of the imagination. So 3 minutes in, it's Cameroon 0, Brazil 0, and it's also likely still 0-0 between Switzerland and Serbia. And Cameroon looked like they were going to go for an attack, but nothing doing so far. And that was a cross and an early chance by Serbia. It was a cross from Filip Kostic, failing to reach the box, and the defence cleared the ball away to safety. So still early days in that game too. As Cameroon now have the ball through Christopher Wu. Now it's been passed up down to Fye. It was I think going to be passed back towards Wu, but quickly taken away by quickly passed back to Ipasi. Ipasi, he's done really well standing in for the suspended Andre Onana, but the ball's now been taken back by Brazil, and I think that was through Anthony. Indeed, it was Anthony, but I think he got a bit of a rude shove in the back by Nicolas Ngamelu. And Brazil now passing the ball around through to Eder Mitayo. And Mitayo now passing to, I think that might have been Anthony. Now it's gone back towards Mitayo. And Mitayo now to Bremer. Bremer now passing down wing to I think that I think that was Bremer. Yes, indeed it was. Now it's been passed around to Alex Telles, although he had to hold off a Cameroon attack. Now the ball's passed around to. So already we're now 5 minutes in, and it's still Brazil 0, Cameroon 0, and corner by Serbia, which was conceded by Remo Fuller. I think Switzerland were on the attack earlier on. It was an attempt saved. It was an attempt from Granit Xhaka saved, and that was and I'm just going back to Nuhu, who appears to have fouled Anthony, and that looked like he was just trying to get his. Looked like he was getting his foot caught up in his legs, and it has given, not surprisingly, a free kick to Brazil, and it will be Dani Alves to take. It'll be Dani Alves to take the free kick. He looks ahead to Gabriel Jesus, but he does a back pass to I think that was Bremer. Yes, indeed it was. And Bremer now has the ball. He's passed it up to Mitayo, and Mitayo now with the ball, and he was about to send it forward towards Anthony, I think it was, but Cameroon just about took it back, and a foul of I think that was by Fabinho. And in fact, it wasn't, and it was in fact Eder Mitayo, and I think a couple of her teammates were shouting protestations, but the referee wasn't having any of it, and that was what happened. It was on Ngamelu and Eder Milatayo, I should say, and I think the referee is also talking to Fred. Remember Fred, and in fact, Fred is actually is already on a yellow card, and I think it's going to be disciplined for dissent. And if that is the case, he will miss the first knockout match for Brazil in the round of 16. Cameroon now have the ball through. I think that was Enzo Abosse. Yes, it is, and Enzo Abosse now passing back down wing, passing the ball back around to Wu. Wu now passing it up ahead to Brian Mbomo, but now passed back around to Zambo Anguissa. He's been a key player in defence for Cameroon, and also good in setting up, and also good in sending the ball forward to players in more forward positions. But speaking of Cameroon pressing forward, it looked like they were just about to do it, and in fact, Ngamelu now has the ball, but he's passed it. But he's passed up the wing. Now it's gone back to Ngamelu, but swiftly tackled by Militayo. So Militayo now passing the ball around to, I think he was aiming for Telles, but well intercepted by Cameroon. So 8 minutes in already. It's Cameroon 0, Brazil 0, and still no indication, and still nothing in of Serbia again, and still nothing new of Serbia against Switzerland. So still early days as of yet, and Brazil now, and it's Brazil now in play. And it's Brazil now in play with the ball. And we've just had a foul and it was a free kick won by Embolo with a free kick in the attacking half, but it didn't work. And the ball was just lobbed forward by Brazil, but the referee didn't like it, and now it's given a free kick to Cameroon. And Rigobert Song knows that, and Rigobert Song knows more than most that this is a very crucial game for the indomitable Lions. It'll be Wu to take the free kick, and he does, and I think he crossed forward to Embolo, but Ingamelu, but deflected away by Brazil. And in fact, Cameroon still managed to hold on to the ball, and he managed to pass to Epassi in goal. Now the ball has been passed to Wu, back towards Epassi. But look out! Here comes Martinelli. But that was easily dealt with by Cameroon. Brazil tried to take the ball back, but Cameroon still holding their own. But in fact, the ball has now been given away back to Brazil. And I think it's with Martinelli, although he has in fact crossed to Gabriel Jesus. It's Jesus now with the ball, but he had to do a back pass to Militao. Now it's Militao crossing forward to, I think that was Martinelli, but blocked by Cameroon. So 10.5 minutes in. So 10.5 minutes in, it's still Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. And already it's a goal kick to Cameroon to be taken by Epassi. Epassi manages to clear the ball out of play. It was aiming for Fabinho, and Fabinho now takes the ball. I think the ball was actually aimed for Choupo-Moting, but it was a good tackle by Fabinho nonetheless. And now the ball is with I think that's Fred by the looks of it, but difficult to see. Difficult to see who it is. Now it's a back pass to Bremer. Bremer now to Militao. Now the ball has been taken up by Fabinho. Fabinho now, or as he passed to Anthony. It's Anthony was aiming for Jesus, but the ball has gone wide. And still no news. And still no word of a goal. Although an attempt has been missed for Serbia. Andrija Zivakovic left-footed shots did a left-footed shot from the outside box, but it did not go in. So it looks like there could be more action in the other game rather than the one we are doing for you. So ball cleared out of goal by Cameroon. Now passed back down to Brazil. The ball is now with Alves. Alves now passing the ball around to Bremer. It's Bremer now. It's Bremer now with the ball, and he tries to pass up front to I think that was Anthony. Yes, indeed, it was Anthony who caught the ball. Anthony passes back to Bremer. Or is it now? It is Bremer. I think that was initially Militao, but Militao has now passed up front to Rodrigo. Rodrigo, he scored in one of the other group games, but he loses the ball to Cameroon. Cross forward by Wu, headed by one of the Brazil midfielders, and now it's going across to Anthony. Anthony has to hold off Nuhu. And he doesn't. And that was a good tackle by Nuhu, but Fred is right behind him. And I think that was a foul by the Brazilian captain, Alves, but the referee wasn't interested. Ball now passed around to Alves. Now it's been chipped forwards to Cameroon, although Anthony tries to get the ball back. Or was that Jesus? It was actually cleared away by Ebose. So it still remains 0-0. The ball's still around on the edge of the 18-yard box around Cameroon's end currently. And cross forward to, I think that was Martinelli, and Martinelli almost headed that one in. But good use of the hands by Epassi. That was a well-timed header in the right place at the right time, but Epassi just cleared that one away, and I think that has given a corner to Brazil, and it will be Rodrigo, and it will be Rodrigo to do the honours, as one would say. He runs up and kicks the ball into the goal area, but headed over by Alves. That wasn't a very good corner in my view. There didn't seem to be anybody closer to goal, but I'm now just going to have to take a look at this one, and good save. And I think that's Paul commenting on, something earlier on. Good save. The cross was absolutely on the button. That could well have been the attempt by Martinelli earlier on. Now the ball's going to be cleared out of goal by Apassi, and Apassi has cleared the ball out of the Cameroon goal, and now it's been given back to Brazil. And Brazil now have the ball with Martinelli, or is it? Yes, it is Martinelli, although he's under pressure from Fai. Martinelli now sprinting up the pitch. Is he going to take the ball on? Needs to set up Jesus, but Jesus misses the ball, and it had to be headed away by Anthony, I think it was. Now the ball has gone back towards Bremer. It's Bremer now to I think Fai. But nothing coming in so far, and a free kick in the defensive half by Switzerland, which was won by Jabril So, did not come off. So currently it's still 0-0 between Serbia and Switzerland, as well as Cameroon and Brazil. Fabinho now with the ball for Brazil, and he's passed to Telles, and Telles has managed to cross up front to Martinelli. Martinelli has to pass down to I think that was a Bremer. It was Bremer now to back to Martinelli, I should say, and that was through Alex Telles, and a cross forward to Jesus, but headed away by Cameroon, and Brazil now looking for another chance with Anthony, though he has to hold off Nuhu, and he almost does so, but Cameroon proving to be very stubborn in defence. And a quick wipe of the face with his shirt to possibly get rid of any excess sweat or dirt. A second corner to Brazil. They've got to get it right this time if they are to score the opening goal of the game. They don't need to, of course, but they only need a point to top. They only need a point at least to top the group. So the referee gets ready to blow the whistle, and the ball goes in towards the 18-yard box. And it looked to me as though Bremer and Militaire were nowhere near heading the ball, and as a result, Brazil just scuffed that corner in my view. And as a result, in my view, Brazil just completely scuffed their corner. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments, please. As Cameroon get the game restarted. The ball has now found its way to, I think that's Collins Fai. No, it's with Ngamelu, although he's under pressure from Alves. Alves unnecessarily pushes him down. The referee calls play to halt, and that was a really nasty looking tackle. I'm very and he should be very lucky he didn't hurt Ngamelu, otherwise there could have been severe consequences for him. And Bomo heads the ball for Cameroon, but it only goes as far as Ederson in the goal. And according to Paul, who's listening in, two corners not the best, to be honest. And I would have to agree with him. So pass by Bremer to Ederson in goal. Now it's been cleared away forward to Fred, but Fred passes back down to, I think that was Bremer. Now the ball is with Anthony. Anthony has to try and find a way around Ngamelu, but he does a back pass to Bremer, and Bremer now passes down wing to Telles. Alex Telles now with the ball, and but almost given away to Cameroon, and he only has to pass back to Ederson in goal. So coming up to 90 minutes, it's still Brazil 0. It's still Cameroon 0, Brazil 0, and Sylvain Widmer shown the yellow card for a bad foul for Switzerland and a corner to Serbia, and it was conceded by Remo Freuler. And Freuler winning a free kick in the defensive half. We'll let you know if that results in anything in just a moment or two. As Choupo-Moting now has the ball for Cameroon inside the 18-yard box. Does well to hold on to it. Can he find a way through? The answer is no, because that was a good tackle by Fabinho. But it's been given away to Zambo Anguissa. Now the ball is with Christopher Wu. Christopher Wu now with the ball. Passes down wing to Mbomo. It's actually Fi now to I think that was Abu Kabar to Zambo Anguissa. Now back towards Zambo Anguissa. Anguissa now to Maxim Choupo-Moting. And Choupo-Moting now passing the ball again. But that was to Pierre Koundé, although it was defended very well by Brazil. And it's Martinelli passing the ball around. But cross forward now to, I think that was Gabriel Jesus, although Cameroon did really well to hold their ground. So 20 minutes in, it's still Cameroon 0, Brazil 0, and you're listening to the Commentary Hub with me, Nicholas Jones. Excuse me. Now the ball has been passed around back to Collins Fi, and Fi now was looking for Anguissa, but roughly handled by Brazil. Even so, the referee has given the advantage to Brazil. It's now with I think that was Mitayo. Mitayo now passing the ball to Rodrigo, and it's Rodrigo now passing back towards Anthony. Anthony now towards Fred, and Fred passes back to Anthony. Anthony now in the back part of the midfield. He's passed the ball again, this time to Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli needs to set up a cross, but he doesn't do it, and it's now gone back towards, I think that was Telesh. The ball's now in the 18-yard box and almost sent in by Fred, but cleared away just in time by the Cameroon defenders. And Fred seemed to be, and Fred was in the right place at the right time, but it was also the forced boots of Tolo that cleared the ball out and just sent him down. So it's another. So yes, again, it's a third corner to Brazil, and Brazil have to make this one count. Don't forget they've already qualified, and but the ball cleared away out of the corner by Cameroon. They need to start pressure. They need to start pressuring Brazil. They need to start pressuring Brazil into making a mistake. And it's given another corner to Brazil to be taken by Rodrigo. And Rodrigo kicks the ball into the 18-yard box. Headed away, though, by the Cameroon defenders. But it's been given back to Brazil, and play has been stopped yet again. And a goal for Switzerland. It was Xherdan Shaqiri and a magnificent left foot shot from the centre of the box to the bottom right corner, and a fabulous assist by So, and that will give Switzerland the chance to further themselves. And in fact, they will top the group. And in fact, they will top the group, and that pushes Brazil all the way back into second. So this could well be good news for Switzerland. And the ball is now being dealt with again by Cameroon. Brazil need to put their best foot forward right now, and they're not doing that. And that looks like Alves has gone down onto the ground. We'll take another look at that, and indeed it was Alves, and I couldn't see who the Cameroonian player was that did it. But this was the save by Brazil. Cameroon, good setup of the shot by Tolo, but Abu Kabar was nowhere near the ball. Ball now being crossed down to Martinelli. 24 minutes in, Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. And so Martinelli now into the 18-yard box, but almost sent in, and Brazil have managed to deflect this one away. Now the ball's back with Gabriel Jesus, who passes down this time to Fabinho. Fabinho to I think that was Telesh, but cleared away again by Cameroon. So it's Fred now to Anthony. And Anthony crossing into the 18-yard box was almost, that was deflected very well by Christopher Wu. Had he not been there, it could well have been a goal for Anthony Martinelli. But it's given another corner to Cameroon. And this will be Brazil's 5th corner. And that's all they've kind of relied on throughout this game. And a straight pass to Anthony, and Anthony going for a long ranger, but headed away by Cameroon. Now the ball is back with I think that was Talesh, and now he's passed again to Jesus. Jesus has found Rodrigo, and I think Rodrigo was looking to pass to Martinelli, but was tackled by Cameroon. And speaking of Cameroon, that was Pierre Koundé with the ball, although he's been brought down. Pierre Koundé did really well. Pierre Koundé did really well as a starting player in Cameroon's last game against Serbia, but that is not. But to go down like that is not what he wanted. And the three injured Brazil players wondering what would have happened had they not been there. And in fact, Brazil still do top the group. I do apologise. They will be on 7. They will be on 7. So they are doing enough to qualify anyway. And Switzerland will still be on 6 points. And Switzerland will now be on 6 points. So it won't be enough for them to progress even further to unsettle Brazil. They need another goal or more to take the top of the group to top the group table. And I apologise for getting all those facts wrong. So Ngamelu to I think that was Zambo Anguissa. Now the ball's been passed down to Enzo Ebose. Ebose now to I think that's Pierre Koundé. And Koundé crosses down wing to Collins Fai. Fai now to Brian Mboma. Mboma was looking for Choupo-Moting, but tackled. But it was I think Martinelli had the ball, although Fai did well to re-tackle him. Currently, it's still in the other game. It's still Serbia 0, Switzerland 1. And that was and in actual fact, I need to correct myself. Serbia have pulled one back through Alexander Mitrovic in the 26th minute, and that will move Serbia into third position. That won't be enough, and a yellow card has gone out to a Cameroonian player. It's Pierre Koundé. This was what happened. He actually that was a bit of a headbutt on Rodrigo, I think it was. So as I see it, Brazil still top the group, but Serbia have moved up to third. They need more points, and this was how they did it. It was Mitrovic, a header from the center of the box to the top right corner, and wonderfully assisted by the captain Dusan Tadic. So it's given a free kick to Brazil, and Ipasi wants to see that the wall is in place, and Brazil get ready to take the free kick. I think it's going to be either Alves or Rodrigo. And it'll be and it looks like it'll be Rodrigo to take the free kick. He's the closest one to the ball. So we're now some 29 minutes. So we're now some 29 minutes in, and cleared away this time by Brazil. And that was a deflected away free kick by Brazil. And after just over 30.5 minutes in, it's still Brazil 0, Cameroon 0. All cleared out of play by Apasi. And I think it was just sent the wrong way by Choupo-Moting of Cameroon. Yeah, just thought I'd readjust the table a bit. And the ball is now still with Cameroon, but through I think that was Christopher Wu, and it's Wu now passing the ball around, but nothing doing so far. And I think that was a tackle which I did not see by Talesh on Mbomo. Mbomo doing well to stay up. I mean, stay on his feet, I should say. But as things stand right now, Brazil still top the Group 1, 7 points. Switzerland will be on 4 points. But I must go through. And that is not good news for Cameroon. They need Serbia to be a goal ahead. And that could bob insult even more into the wounds for the Camerooners. That looked like Rodrigo on a bit of a run for Brazil. And the perpetrator was, I think, Collins Fye. And Fye has been given a yellow card, and he will miss the next game should Cameroon make it through. And that was a reckless challenge. I don't think he even went for the ball, just clattered into Rodrigo's knee, and that will surely now give Brazil their second free kick of the game. And so we're just over half an hour in, and still nothing, and still no change. And still no change score-wise, although an attempt in the other game but has been missed. Switzerland, I mean, Shaqiri for Switzerland, left-footed shot from the centre of the box was close, but he missed to the right. So it looks as though the next game could work. So it looks as though in the other game it's all Switzerland at the moment. And Paul says that the foul is professional, worthy of a yellow card. I'm not sure what you call a professional foul, to be honest. But if he clattered into his knee, that could well have caused a bit of a knock. And to me, that sounds very serious. As Alves gets ready to take the free kick for Brazil. And the referee blows the whistle. Alves runs up to the ball, takes the free kick, but it's over the crossbar, and that's the closest Brazil have come to scoring throughout this game so far. Good top. A bit of a shot was a bit too powerful, in my view, and Apasi nowhere close enough to saving, but that will matter little to him right now. And I think one of the players in the stands was Ronaldo. Apasi now taking a few steps back, and he'll be looking to clear the ball out of goal, which he is. And the ball's gone straight to Ngamelu to Maxime Choupo-Moting, and Serbia, I think, have taken the lead, although we'll await confirmation on that one. And the ball is now back with Brazil. It's Militao. Militao now passing to Anthony It's Anthony now with the ball. It's Anthony now with the ball for Brazil, and he's now pushed away by Nuhu Tolo. And as I talk to you right now, it's a Serbia goal by Dusan Vlahovic in the 35th minute, and this could be what, and this is what Cameroon wants. They need Serbia to beat Switzerland by 1 goal or more, and for Cameroon to win themselves. Brazil appear to be getting closer and closer to opening the score, but Cameroon are still proving to be very stubborn in defence. Given away this time to Bremer for Brazil. Now the ball is with Fabinho. Fabinho back towards I think that was Militao, and Militao has now found Alves, and Alves about to pass to, I think that was Rodrigo. Now the ball is back with Brazil. It's Fred this time, and Fred doing a long cross to Gabriel Martinelli, and Martinelli inside the 18-yard box. And I think Rodrigo was clipped by somebody, but the referee says play on, and it was Choupo-Moting with the ball for Cameroon. And the way things stand right now, Serbia will have leapfrogged Switzerland into second place. We'll ascertain what happened. We'll give a full description of what happened as and when we can. And it was a left-footed shot from the centre of the box by Vlahovic, and a wonderful shot it was too. And Serbia could well be heading into the next round. But it's still 0-0 right where we are between Cameroon and Brazil. The ball is now with Collins, with I think that was Tolo. Tolo now with the ball, but he's passed down to Martinelli, and it's Martinelli now with the ball for Brazil, but fouled from behind by, I think that was Fai. Although that was a shot on goal by Anthony, saved by Davis Apasi. Just goes to show that Cameroon are a side not to be taken lightly. Good delivery by Fred, and the shot by Anthony was goal bound, but saved with really good accuracy by Davis Apasi. And the Cameroon physio is now coming over to have a look at Collins Fai. It's difficult to see who fouled him. It might have been Gabriel Jesus. I think the referee was having a quick word with him, sort of saying any more like that, and you're being booked. And in fact, it was Martinelli who was involved, and I think he actually knocked off Martinelli's boot. Now, how does one explain that? But I think it was Fai who tried to do the tackle himself. And he came off the worst of it. And the Cameroon management officials and everyone else now talking to the remainder of the players. Rigobert Song now talking to the squad, and I think Tiche is taking advantage of the break to talk to the Brazil squad. But what a lovely header that was earlier on by Martinelli. Just a pity it did not go. It did not go into the net. And what's more, he knows it as well. So the way things stand, Brazil will head through into the round of 16 on 7 points. It'll be Serbia now up into second, and Samuel Eto'o is in the stands as well. He played for Cameroon during the 2002 World Cup in Korea, Japan, if anyone remembers. So it's still all to play for between Cameroon, Serbia, Switzerland, and between Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon, I should say. But the ball has now been passed back to Apasi in goal. I'm sure there's going to be a few minutes of added on time in regards to the in regards to what happened in regards to the Colin Spy injury. But the good thing is he is still able to carry on playing as Cameroon tried to set up an attack, but it was halted by a Militaio of Brazil. And we're now into the 40th minute. It's still Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. You're listening to the Commentary Hub with me, Nicholas Jones, and a free kick has been won by Serbia in the defensive half, but it didn't come off, and the ball has now been passed around to Bremer for Brazil, and now the ball has ended up back with Alex Telles, and Telles crossing the ball forward, but cut away by Cameroon. It's now Mbomo to Abu Kabar from Zambo Anguissa, and a cross by Abu Kabar to Mbomo, but saved by Ederson. A cross forward by Ederson to Anthony. Now the ball is back with Alves, and Alves passes up the wing to Anthony, but Anthony now passes back down to Alves. Alves needs to keep passing the ball around for Brazil so as to throw him off, and it looks like he's done so through Ederson to, I think that might have been Rodrigo. Yes, indeed, it was Rodrigo. And Rodrigo back towards Ederson, but cut away by Fai, and it was a cross, and it had to be crossed back to Bremer. All now still with Brazil. Brazil have had 8 attempts on goal, 2 on target, and Cameroon none for either side. And the ball is now back with Rodrigo. Rodrigo passing to Martinelli. Martinelli passes back to Telles. Now it's with Fabinho. Fabinho to Dani Alves. Now Alves has found Militaio, and Militaio now passing this time to Bremer and Ederson, or should that be Alves tries to get hold of the ball, but Alves must have done something to catch the referee's attention, and that was it. It was a tackle on. It was a bit of a rough tackle on Ingamelu. That was what caused this, and I think that was almost a header by Bremer into the goal earlier on. But Cameroon still know that that they have a chance. Although a draw just won't be enough to send them through to the round of 16. Ball now being passed around to Ederson in goal, and now the ball has been passed down to Rodrigo. It's Rodrigo now with the ball for Brazil, although Anguissa is closing behind, and that was a through pass to Anthony, but Anthony wasn't anywhere near. But Anthony wasn't anywhere near the ball, and it looks like a couple of players might be getting ready to warm themselves up to come on as substitutes. That could well be the case in the second half. Cross forward now to Choupo-Moting, and Choupo-Moting now to no Tolo. And it's Tolo, but headed back to Brazil through Fred. Now it's with Zambo Christopher Wu, and passes to Collins Fai towards Apasi. And a cross forward by Apasi to what looks to be Zambo Anguissa, but it's offside. He's been flagged up, but it's offside. He's been flagged as offside. And I think one of the Cameroon players warming himself up. He could be ready. He's looking like he might be coming on as a substitute. So, a throw in to Brazil, and the ball is now with Bremer, and it's Bremer passing to what looks like Telles. Now it's back to Bremer. Bremer now passing again to Militaio. So it's Militaio to Rodrigo, and but conceded to Conceded to Cameroon through Koundé. It's Koundé. Koundé now has the ball, but he was looking to find someone up front, but he ran out of road and was forced out by the Brazil defenders. Neymar still in the stands, wishing he could be on the pitch right now. In fact, had he been on there, if he was on there, the scoreline could well have been different. So with 3 seconds to go until the 45th minute, which we're at now, it'll be interesting to see how many minutes will be added on. And just as I say that, 4 minutes are now added on in the game in this current game. And Switzerland have pulled one back. It's Mbolo who scored. It's through Mbolo, the man who scored the opening goal against Cameroon. And this could now put the kibosh, and this has now halted Serbia's attempts to qualify for the round of 16, at least for now. And the table looks like thus, and that was through Mbolo, and Mbolo just received the deliver. Mbolo just took advantage of the assist by Vidma, and that was a right-footed shot from very close range into the bottom corner. So well done to him. And the ball's now headed over by Martin. The ball was now almost sent in, but it was sent in from a long range, but was palmed away by Apasi. So Martinelli could well have been the man to open the scoring for Brazil. A corner now to Brazil. And it will be taken by Anthony. And Anthony passing down to Rodrigo. And it scrapes the net. Very unlucky for Rodrigo to miss. I actually thought it was going to go in, but it did ripple the net, but from the wrong side. But he might have been impeded by Pierre Koundé. So if he was, then praise must go to Koundé for holding him off like that. And we're now into the penultimate minute of added on time. And the ball is now straight to Cameroon, although it's now with Anguissa. Yes, it is with Anguissa, although he's under pressure from Fred. Fred passes to Choupo-Moting. Now it's with one of the other players, and it was almost headed in by Mbomo. But easily palmed away by Edison. That's the closest Cameroon have come to scoring. In my view, the ball is now with Ingamelu. Ingamelu was about to pass to a Choupo-Moting, but tackled by Brazil, and the ball is now being sent forward to Zambo Anguissa. But it just wasn't to be for Cameroon. Almost head, and how close can one get to heading it in? But again, good reflexes by Edison. Just cool as you like, palmed it away, and we're about to see the end of the first half, which will be any minute now. Play still going on, however, although the players are now starting to wind themselves down a bit, and the ball is now with still with Brazil. It's Alves trying to cross forward to Anthony, but as I say, this half is still far from over. The ball is now with Martinelli. It's Martinelli now with the ball, and a pass to Bremer. I thought it was going to be over, but it actually turns out we've only got a few seconds left, and I actually got my timings wrong, I should say. And there goes the whistle for half-time. Neither Cameroon nor Brazil could get themselves in front, despite many attempts, and the way things stand in the table. Brazil still And the way things stand in the table, Brazil still top the group with Switzerland not far behind. With Switzerland in second place for fourth, and it will be Cameroon and Cameroon and Serbia bring up the bottom half of the table. The second half could well change it. But we're going to go for a break at the moment. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub's coverage of Cameroon against Brazil. Remember, Brazil have already qualified to go through to the round of 16. For Cameroon, a point is just not enough. They need to win and ensure that Switzerland lose to Serbia by 1 goal or more. And away we go for the second half at the Lusail iconic stadium. And it's Cameroon now with the ball. And it's through Chupo Moting straight, but almost tackled by Martinelli. Now it goes back to Pierre Kunde, and Kunde now to Anguissa. So forward that time to Chupo Moting. As it goes back to Edison in goal. So Edison gets ready to pass the ball forward to Anthony for Brazil, but it goes out of play. No halftime substitutions have been made as of yet. Thrown to Brazil to be taken by I think that was Tolo. Now the ball is with Anguissa, but given away to Fred, and now it's been headed forward to Fabinho, but tackled by Martinelli, passed to Martinelli, I should say, and tackled by Cameroon. Now it's Brian and Bomo. Just inside the 18-yard box goes the ball, but it bounces off the post. And Brian and Bomo, who nearly headed the ball in at the end of the first half, had his shot headed away by Bremer. So good work by Bremer, but it's given a corner to Cameroon. And the second half has begun between Serbia and Switzerland, and it will be so the corner now to Cameroon as Edison stands in goal, waiting to receive a ball and send it away. Ball kicks in towards the 18-yard box. Headed away, though, by Brazil. Now it's back with Collins. Fai now to, I think that was in Bomo, but Telesh has been fouled. I think that was inside the 18-yard box. The referee's saying, hold everything, as he comes over to have a look at Telesh. And I think Telesh just got caught up in the scramble. The ball was going to be headed away by Anguissa. And somehow the momentum just caught Telesh unawares and brought him down. And the Brazil physio is now coming over to take a look at him. He looks like he's in a bit of a bad way. He's holding his head in his hands. There's a bits of grass and sweat, everything on his face. I think he might have just been caught in the back or something. Chiche looking understandably concerned. And a couple of the Brazil substitutes might be looking to get themselves ready to go forward, one of which is Bruno Guimarães. But Telesh now being looked over by Anguissa. Good use of chivalry. And just as I talk to you, Switzerland have extended their lead, and we'll tell you exactly how, and we'll tell you how it happens shortly. So it's fair to say that Switzerland could well be heading into the round of 16 along with Brazil, as Cameroon get the game restarted, and the ball is now straight to Inga Bailu, straight to now pass to Abu Kabar, but well defended by Militao. And Militao did well to or was that a tackle on Abu Kabar, which did not involve the ball? I think that could well be the latter anyway. He was lucky to get away with that. So goal kick delivered, and Switzerland, what happened was that it was Freuler left-footed shot from the centre of the box into the bottom right corner. Brilliantly assisted by Ruben Vargas. and so that'll give Switzerland the chance to. So that'll give Switzerland the incentive they need to go through with it as well. So Switzerland currently second. Switzerland currently second on 6 points. Switzerland currently second in the group table. And just as I say that, Cameroon looked like they were going to have a shot on goal, and that would have been through Abu Kabar, but missed. And a missed opportunity, and I think he might have gotten a punch away by Edison. And it was a delivery by Mbeumo to Abu Kabar, but nothing. But again, it comes to nothing. And another Brazilian player has gone down, and to me that looks like Alex Telles again. I think that's probably a reoccurrence of the foul he sustained earlier, and it looks like one of the substitutes that were going to come on. That's Marquinhos. So Marquinhos, getting ready to warm himself up and to come on. Militaire also looking over his teammate there, and also coming over to look is Mbeumo. I think Abu Kabar's looking over him as well. So Marquinhos getting ready. So Marquinhos getting ready to come on. Currently of PSG in League A. And that was in fact the header by Fabinho, which caught both Anguissa and Telles unawares. So Telles could well be substituted, and the game will be about to restart. It's after 52 minutes. It's Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. As Edison gets ready to clear the ball out of goal, and forward it goes to I think that was I think that might have been Rodrigo, and almost sent in by Gabriel Jesus, but tackled at the last possible moment by Davis Apassi. And Jesus, I think actually. And Jesus, I think I might have actually struck him in the legs or something, but I'm not too sure. And Cameroon looking like they're going to go for another attack. It's Alves for Brazil, passing down to Anthony. It's Anthony now to Alves. And Alves, but tackled by Cameroon. It's Anguissa to Ngamelu now passing it to Fai. Now back towards Ngamelu. Now a cross forward by Tolo, but headed away by Brazil. And but they have conceded the ball back to Cameroon, and this time it will be Pierre Koundé crossing the ball forward to I think that's Tolo. Yes, indeed it is Tolo. Tolo has to pass back to Koundé, and a cross forward by Koundé, but it doesn't go where he wants it to, and that would have been miraculous, and it didn't seem to me as though Abu Kabar or anybody was anywhere near the ball inside the 18-yard box. 3 substitutions are being made for Brazil. Telles, not surprisingly, and of course Fred and Rodrigo. And so coming onto the field will be Everton Ribeiro, and I think Bruno Guimarães, and also Marquinhos. So Brazil might need those fresh set of legs right now. So this could have been a well-timed substitution for them. And as it stands, Brazil still top the group with 7 points. It'll be 4 points actually to Switzerland. Or should that be 6? No, 6. It should be 6 to Switzerland. No, 5. 5 should be. The ball now being sent forward into the goal area by Cameroon, but sent away. Yes, I can confirm it is indeed 6 points. As Brazil now press forward towards the 18-yard box, they're inside it now, and that shot by Martinelli was deflected away by Ebassi. And Martinelli, he's been getting ever closer and closer to scoring for Brazil. He had a couple of chances in the first half, but they didn't go his way. And now it's a corner to Brazil. And the corner will likely be taken by Marquinhos. No, Anthony. It's Anthony to take the corner for Brazil. He runs up to the ball, kicks it into the 18-yard box, but headed away by Cameroon. They're not out of the woods yet. It's now Ribeiro trying to cross forward too. And I think that was almost sent in, but Epassi was barely able to hold on to the ball with that. So sent in by Ribeiro, and I think that was a through ball to, I think that was a cross to Militao, but saved twice by Epassi, and that's given another corner to Brazil. And they need to make this one count this time, but cleared out of shot, but cleared out of the way by Cameroon. Almost nicked by the substitute Guimarães, and Guimarães now passing to Alves, Dani Alves. But Alves has been brought down by Ngamelu. And I think Ngamelu might have gotten into a bit of a fight, but play still goes on. Brazil now looking for a chance. It's Anthony. Anthony looking to set up a shot, but saved again by Davis Epassi. That was a nice curling effort. And Epassi was able to, but Epassi just couldn't hold on to the ball. But Epassi just couldn't save it in time. Corner once again to Brazil, and it will be, it remains to be seen who will take it. And it's Anthony that will take the ball, the corner, and the ball's been played around inside the 18-yard box, almost headed in, but it wasn't to be. And the referee has called a halt to play, and something has happened to the goalkeeper, Epassi. He's lying flat on his front. I think it might be. I think he got clattered into by his teammates, and ouch! His back has hit. His back has hit the post, and this could be a very serious injury for Davis Epassi. I think Bremer might have gotten an elbow to it, so it looks as though their only reserve goalkeeper, Brady Indoeungbuk, will be coming on for Cameroon. And Epassi has made some really, really good saves throughout this game, like that, just that small touch of the hand he used to deflect away a possible Brazil goal. So players now resumed, and Ngamelu has gone down onto the ground. It's all happening. It's all happening at the Lusail Iconic Stadium, and I think that was by Dani Alves. And straight away, he gets a talking to from the referee. Basically, it could almost be sort of any more like that, and it's a yellow card for you, Sunshine. And 59 and a half minutes in, it's still Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. and currently, and it's still currently it's currently still Switzerland 3. It's currently Serbia 2, Switzerland 3 in the other game, and it'll be a Cameroon free kick to be taken by Koundé, and Koundé kicks the ball into the goal area, but it's cleared out by Alves. Now headed by Anthony, straight to Zambo Anguissa. Now the ball is with Kolo, or was it Mbomo? I think it might have been Mbomo that. It might have been in Bomo, but that was a foul by Zambo Anguissa on. I think that might have been Militao. But Brazil are back into this through Militao. Militao passing forward to Alves. Now the ball has been nicked by Koundé, but back towards Brazil and Anthony. And Anthony now tries to pass the ball around to. He tried to pass to Guimarães, but Cameroon were too quick. But Cameroon must have been too quick for him. And Brazil have had a shorter ball recovery time of 13 seconds compared to Cameroon's 26. But that aside, Brazil are now pressing forward towards the goal. It's with Guimarães by the looks of it, or was it Ribeiro? Ribeiro loses the ball to Ngamelu. And it's currently Ngamelu passing to Tolo. Tolo now passes back down the wing to back down the field, I should say, to Enzo Ebose. And Ebose now passing again to Christopher Wu. Cameroon yet to make a substitution. I think that's Apasi has managed to get himself back up, which is good to see. And the ball is now was aimed straight forward to Marquinhos, but Marquinhos passes to Ederson in goal. It doesn't look like It's still difficult to see who has had the more chances of scoring. I think it might be Brazil at the moment. So I think Brazil are just edging Cameroon ahead on possession right now, as what looks to be Bremer now passing the ball down to I think that's Marquinhos. So Marquinhos now passing again to Eder Mitayo to Anthony. It's Anthony now with the ball for Brazil. Now it's been passed again to I think that was Guimarães, but nothing doing on that occasion. Brazil looking for another chance, but almost cleared away by I think that was Ebose. Now the ball's been picked up once again by, I think, Brazil. And that was an earlier attack by Martinelli, chested away by Enzo Ebose, and a substitute will be made for Cameroon. It's Mbeumo making way for Carl Toko Ekambi. Ekambi has been one of the standout players for Cameroon, in my view. Whilst he hasn't scored anything, he has done well at setting up players with other opportunities. And I think this could well be another substitute for Brazil, as Gabriel Jesus makes way for Pedro, and onto the pitch he comes. Pedro, the man at Flamengo, and he was initially on loan from Fiorentina, joined permanently in 2021. And ball's now being passed around back to Ederson, but it's been passed back out to what looks to be Alves. Yes, indeed, it is Alves. He's crossing forward to Pedro, but picked up by Epasi in goal. And nothing new on Serbia against Switzerland, although a recent foul has been committed by Filip Kostic of Serbia. Now the ball is still with Brazil. It's with Pedro right now, straight to Martinelli, and Martinelli passing to Marquinhos, but Marquinhos Marquinhos couldn't get to the ball, and I think he should be somewhat annoyed at this as we now approach 65 minutes. It's still Cameroon 0, Brazil 0, and you're listening to the commentary hub with me, Nicholas Jones. So the ball gets ready to be cleared out of goal by Apasi, which it is. And Apasi now clearing the ball forward to Choupo-Moting. Now the ball is with Toko Ekambi. It's Toko Ekambi giving the ball away, though, to Anthony. And Anthony tries to pass the ball forward, but is cut out by Cameroon. And the ball has been thrown out by Brazil, I should say, for a throw. It's Anguissa with for Cameroon, but tackled by I think that was Guimaraes, and the referee has made a forced stop of play, and I think that could well be a free kick to Cameroon, although unfortunately they have not made. Unfortunately for them, they have not made much. They haven't made much of an impression towards me as they did in their previous group stage matches. So it looks as though they could well be going out tonight, but they still are looking. Sorry to press on, and it's back to Brazil now with the ball. It's taken back through Guimaraes, or should that be Ribeiro? But tackled by Cameroon, and now the ball has been sent forward to Abu Kabar, or is it Ingamelu? Yes, it is Ingamelu. Ingamelu to Choupo-Moting, and Choupo-Moting was looking to pass to Abu Kabar, but tackled by Alves for Brazil. And the referee now having a bit of a chat with Dani Alves. I think that was I think it was because he got into a bit of a tangle with or was it something I didn't see? It was something on the substitute Ribeiro, and Olivier Ntcham is going to come on in place of Pierre Koundé. So on comes Ntcham. And play will get underway once more. So we're now approaching some 68 minutes. It's still Cameroon 0, Brazil 0, and the ball has now been passed down wing to Militao. Militao now to Guimaraes. Guimaraes now back to Marquinhos, and now Marquinhos has found what looks to be Fabinho. Fabinho to Anthony, and so it's Anthony now passing to Alves, but under pressure from Kolo and from Toko Ekambi, but that was well defended by Abu Kabar. He did well to defend whilst he was being fouled, and it's still. And a couple of substitutions and a substitution for Serbia, but still nothing new goal-wise. Ball now being passed back down to, I think that was number 26, Suaibu Maru, and the ball is now being passed up this time to Ntcham. Ntcham sends the ball out of play. I think that actually came off a Brazil deflection, and Rigobert Song knows that time is running out for Cameroon with almost 20 minutes to go. They need to win. A point is not going to be enough. Plus they need other results to go their way, and Cameroon need to get their backs off get their backs up off the wall and start playing themselves forward a lot more. But they just can't. But they just can't seem to get through Brazil. Likewise, Brazil just can't seem to get through Cameroon's defense. And now the ball is with Martinelli. He's passed down to what looks to be. I think that was Ribeiro. Ribeiro now sending the ball back down to Mital. Now the ball is with Alves. Alves passing again, this time to Anthony. It's Anthony looking to set up a chance, but tackled by Cameroon. It's now with Toko Ekambi. And Toko Ekambi now looking to pass the ball further forward. It's been picked up this time by Anguissa. Now back towards Toko Ekambi. And Toko Ekambi now gives the ball back to concedes the ball to Brazil. Now it's with now a foul this time on Pedro. Referee blows the whistle, but play still goes on. It's Marquinhos, I think, to Pedro, but conceded to Cameroon. And now it's come back to Dani Alves. Brazil could well be on the way to scoring here from the way they're playing right now, but it's missed by Everton. But it's missed by Everton Ribeiro. And it was Anthony, I think, trying to set up Ribeiro, but Ribeiro just missed by a fraction or two. And it looks like it's going to be a throw in. I mean, goal kick to Cameroon. Brazil have had 54% possession. Cameroon only 30. So Brazil on top in terms of possession, but they haven't had the chance to score just as of yet. The ball is now with Marquinhos. Marquinhos shoved out of the way, it looks like, by Fai. Marquinhos tries to get the ball back and does so, succeeds. Now it's through to Martinelli straight, and the ball has now been passed around to Guimarães. And Guimarães just couldn't find a way through. So once again, good teamwork by Brazil, but Guimarães' shot went over the crossbar. I think he might have had help after it was deflected away. I think that might have had help with deflection by Choupo-Moting. So just over 72.5 minutes played. It's Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. And the ball cleared out of goal by Davis Apassi. Apassi now heading the ball away. Ball's now caught by Militao. Straight to Martinelli. And Martinelli loses the ball to Fai. Martinelli tries to get the ball back, but Fai has been challenged from behind by Martinelli. And Martinelli knows that Martinelli, judging by the look on his face, knows that he's committed a foul. So the Brazil fans don't seem to be bothered right now. They know that place around 16 is guaranteed, whatever happens, and they're doing enough to top the group anyway. And now we're going to take a look at. Still 0-0, and it's still 3-2 to Switzerland in their game against Serbia. As ball's now headed up into the air by I think that was Bremer. It's Bremer to giving the ball away to Olivier Ncham. Now the ball is with Christopher Wu. Wu passing to Apassi. Now the ball's been passed back out to what looks to be Enzo Abosse. Yes, indeed, it is Enzo Abosse. Passing now to Apassi. Apassi back to Christopher Wu. And Wu passing again to Apassi. And Apassi passing the ball back out again to Abosse. Now Anguissa to Olivier Ncham. Ncham crossing forward to what looked to be Tolo, but that was mistimed in my view. And it's given the ball back to Dani Alves. And Alves still with the ball, but he's passed again to what looks to be Bremer. So it's Bremer now with the ball, and a forward pass to Martinelli by the looks of it. Now it's with Anthony. Anthony now with the ball for Brazil, and he had to pass to Guimaraes, only for him to be halted, as it were, by Nuhu Tolo. And a great stop by Tolo. And Brazil are doing everything right in order to keep themselves top of the group and to advance through to the round of 16. Got lots of action coming up in the knockout stages over the weekend, and I'll be plugging those at full time. So Brazil get the game going again. Ball is now with Bremer. Bremer now to Marquinhos. And Marquinhos now passing down to what looks to be Militao. Militao now to back towards Bremer. So it's Bremer now with the ball, passing again to Militao, and Militao again now to Dani Alves. It's Alves passing now to Fabinho. And it's Fabinho now with the ball, but passing again to Anguissa, but losing the ball to Anguissa. Now it's back with Fabinho. Fabinho again to Bremer. Now it's with Dani Alves. Alves has now found Guimaraes, but tackled by Cameroon. And it's Toko Ekambi now with the ball for the Indomitable Lions. And he has to pass forward to Zambo Anguissa. So Anguissa now to Olivier, to I think that was a Tolo. Now the ball is found in Charm again. It's in Charm to Choupo-Moting, but tackled by Guimaraes for Brazil. Referee says play on after a foul inside the 18-yard box. It's Anthony to I think that was Alves. Now the ball's been crossed down to Everton Ribeiro, and Ribeiro now passing it to Guimaraes, and Guimaraes fouled just outside the 18-yard box. But the referee waves aside any penalty protestations. The ball is now with Cameroon and Toko Ekambi. Toko Ekambi goes around Alves, but can't seem to get around everyone else. Now the ball is with Olivier Ntcham, and saved once again by Edison. That looked like it was going to go in, and the grimace on Olivier Ntcham's face shows how close he came to scoring for Cameroon. And this could well be Cameroon's last realistic shot at targets as time ticks away. We now have just under 12 minutes to go. And it still remains Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. And the referee is now talking to somebody. Couldn't see who. And it looks like there'll be a substitution for Brazil. And coming off will be Anthony. And it looks like Rafinha is going to come on to play. Indeed, he is. And you have to question, and one might question as to why Chiche did not choose to have Richarlison play up front at the beginning, and he hasn't even made an appearance from the subs bench yet. So it's Olivier Ntcham for Cameroon. Collins Fye was aiming for Abu Kabar, but but nothing came through yet. And it's a corner now to Cameroon. And it looks like, to me, it looks as though it'll be Ntcham to take the corner kick. No, it won't be. It's Carl Toko Ikambi. So Carl Toko Ikambi runs and kicks the ball into the 18-yard box, almost headed in, but cleared out, but kept out, I should say, by Brazil. And it's now Abu Kabar, and over the crossbar it goes. That was a poorly timed kick by Abu Kabar, and over the crossbar it went. It didn't look like it was going to go anywhere else but that. And it's conceded a corner again to Cameroon. And at this time it will be, I think, Incham to take the corner straight to Choupo-Moting, but almost headed up by, I think that was Christopher Wu. Now it's with him. Now it's with Incham. Incham loses the ball though to Martinelli, who's actually fouled by Abu Kabar, and that was a nasty shove in the back in my view. I think Abu Kabar is going to get a yellow card for this. And the referee thinks so too. Marquinhos trying to give his thoughts of the story, and Abu Kabar, no complaints from him. Goes straight into the yellow card. I think he might have had one or two words to say about that, but those words are meaningless if he's going into the book. And in the other game, it is still Serbia 2, Switzerland 3. So at the moment, it looks as though Switzerland will be going through into the round of 16 along with Brazil. We're now just under 9 minutes left, and it's a Brazil free kick to be taken by Alves. So it'll be Alves to take the free kick, and he and what looks to be Rafinha stand over the ball. And Rafinha takes a few steps, takes a couple of paces backwards. Everyone poised to take the free kick, and it's Alves to take the free kick, but deflected away by Cameroon, I should say. Now it's back with Rafinha, and Rafinha to I think that's Fabinho. Fabinho now to what looks to be Guimarães. Guimarães passes to Edison, and now he's passed the ball again to Alves. Alves to, I think that's Guimarães. Now he's conceded the ball to Incham for Cameroon. Now it's with Ngamelu. Now back to Incham for the Indomitable Lions. Now it's been passed again, this time to Bibose, to Anguissa. Now back towards Anguissa. Anguissa now to Abu Kabar, but nothing doing so far. Now it's with now once again it's with Guimarães for Brazil. Now it's passed to Edison Ribeiro, and Ribeiro now passing again to I think that's Martinelli with 7, and we now have some 7 minutes left. And you're listening to the Commentary Hub with me, Nicholas Jones, and straight now back to Dani Alves. It's Alves with the ball for Brazil. It's passing to Guimarães. Guimarães now looking to make the break up front. Passes down wing to, I think that's Rafinha. And is it going to go in? No. Rafinha tried to set up Bruno Guimarães. But it looks as though Christopher Wu just ran into him. So Rafinha did well to hold on, but Guimarães, it's fair to say, was blocked by Wu, and it's given a corner to Brazil, their 10th in this game so far. And the corner quickly taken by Brazil to go into the 18-yard box, but deflected away by Cameroon. And it was going to be Ngamelu for Cameroon, but a yellow card goes to somebody from Brazil, and it's Bruno Guimarães. what on earth can he have done? And he actually wrapped his arm around Ngomelu's body, and I think the tug of the chest I think the tug of the shirt just pulled him down. And it's another substitute for Cameroon, and off the pitch comes Nicolas Ngomelu. So who will take his place? So off comes Ngomelu, and on will go Jerome Ngombekele. Ngombekele will be coming on. And it's a free kick to Cameroon. So free kick towards Toko Ekambi, but almost intercepted by Brazil. And in fact, it has been intercepted through Alves, who passes to Edison. But the ball now cleared out of play to Anguissa. Now it's with Olivier Ncham, now passing to Choupo-Moting. Choupo-Moting now passing to Ngom, but deflected away again by Brazil. And a substitution by Switzerland. Fastnax replacing Ruben Vargas, who assisted one of the goals earlier on in the first half. And we now have 4 minutes left, and it's still Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Throw in to be taken by Marquinhos for Brazil, and the ball has now been caught by I think that was Grimares. It is Grimares, and the pass down wing to Rafinha. And Rafinha now approaching the 18-yard box, but the ball's deflected away by Tolo, and now the ball's been sent in to, I think that's Rafinha. Now it was briefly with Grimares, but it was saved by Davis Apassi. Credit to him for staying on in there. And as it comes to that time of the match, it's difficult for me to say who will be. It's difficult for me to say who will be my player. It's difficult for me to say who will be my player of the match. But as Group G stands right now, Brazil top the group on 7, and it will be Switzerland second with 6. And for Cameroon and Serbia, their efforts will have been in vain. Rafinha now makes the break for the 18-yard box. He tries to go around Tolo, but Tolo cuts him off. And great work by Nuhu Tolo, and I think it'll be Rafinha to take the throw. Will it be Alves? It'll be Dani Alves to take the throw in. So the ball is about to be thrown. In fact, Nuhu Tolo appears to be in some kind of discomfort. He had his head down for a moment there. And so Alves gets ready to take the throw for Brazil, and he throws to Ribeiro. Now back to Guimarães. Now the ball's almost sent in forward by I think that was Pedro, but nothing comes of that one. And the ball, and I am going to give my player of the match to somebody, and it is from Brazil. And because of how he impressed me in the first half, and also how close he came to scoring, my player of the match will be Bruno Martinelli. So Bruno Martinelli, my player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services. It's Ribeiro now with the ball straight to Pedro, but the ball chopped out of place. Sent over the bar, and I think that was by somebody from Cameroon. But nothing is to come of it that time. It's now with Alves. Alves passing to Rafinha. It's Rafinha passing again to Alves. Now back to Rafinha. We're now to the penultimate minute. It's still Cameroon 0, Brazil 0, and the ball's about to be crossed into the goal area, but deflected away by Cameroon. Now the ball's been sent back down the field, I should say, to Brazil, although Cameroon looked like they were going to try and make an attack for it. But but stopped by Edison. Now the ball's been passed back to Edison in goal for Brazil. It's going to be ball's not going to be cleared forward to Edison to Everton Ribeiro, and Ribeiro now passing again to Martinelli. It's Martinelli with the ball and cleared and sent away by Cameroon. As we have now approached the 90th minute. That was good. That was a good effort. That was a good effort by Martinelli, and to be cleared out by Wu. And it's a corner again to Brazil, and 9 minutes have been added on, which is a very long period of time. We've had that a lot throughout this tournament. And the corner is quickly taken by Brazil, headed forward this time by Bremer, but almost caught by Anguissa. Now the ball is going to be headed straight forward. Was almost picked up by was almost headed by Militao, and but as things stand, Brazil still top Group F, and it'll be a throw in to Cameroon to be taken by Nuhu Tolo. I think it was. I think it is. No, it isn't. It'll be Enzo Ebose. I thought it was going to be Tolo, but Ebose steps in to take it. And a throw taken by Ebose to Toko Ekambi. Now it's with Anguissa. That's it. It goes out of play once again. And it'll be a throw in to Brazil. Alves to take the throw, which he has. Now the ball has been tackled by Toko Ekambi. Now the ball's been passed to Olivier Ncham. And Ncham now to Ngom. And across by Ngom to Abu Kabar. And Cameroon take the lead. But it's surely too little too late now. As Vincent Abu Kabar takes his shirt off to celebrate. I think he'll be going into the book for that. But a bit of a morale, but a definite morale boost for Cameroon, and it won't be enough for them to go through to the round of 16. And Abu Kabar still has his shirt off. He'll be putting it back on surely. He shows it to the crowd. And I think he receives a bit of a congratulatory pat on the back from one of the substitutes as well. And Rigobert Song was very happy with this one as well. And it looks like it could well be a second yellow. And in fact, a second yellow is. And indeed, it's red. It's red for Vincent Abu Kabar. That is definitely uncalled for in my view, because he scored that incredible goal. But so he must have had a foul early, and that was a well-timed by Ngom, and Abu Kabar's header was just what the doctor ordered for Cameroon. But Abu Kabar was very unfortunate to be sent off. And what do you think? Let me know. And what do you think? Let me know in the live chat, please. And so after 3.5 minutes, it's Cameroon 1, Brazil 0. And but it still won't be enough to unseat. But it still won't be enough to unseat Switzerland. They currently lead by 3-2. Cameroon, I feel, should have scored earlier on, and Brazil now have 6 points instead of 7, but they still top the table by goal difference. Oh, they still top the table on goal difference. So So with some 4.5 minutes left, Brazil now just need to consolidate their performance. Just need now to consolidate their place, whilst Cameroon must wait and see what happens to other results. And it looks like it's going to be 90. It looks like it's going to be close to 10 minutes as well in the game between Serbia and Switzerland, as Alves now passes to Militao. So it's Militao now with the ball for Brazil. Now it's been passed around to Fabinho. Fabinho to Martinelli. It's Martin. Cross! But sorry, but it was sent past the post. And even so, it could well still. And it looks like it's very much all over for Cameroon, as we know it. So Militao, nice effort to set up an attack on goal, but it just wasn't to be for Brazil. And it's now being picked up by Rafinha, who passes to Pedro. Pedro now passing back down to Marquinhos. It's Marquinhos to Martinelli. And Martinelli now has the ball and back pass to Marquinhos, and almost headed in by Bruno Guimarães, but saved by Davis Apassi. Davis Apassi could well have been my player of the match too, with those magnificent efforts on goal that he saved. But Martinelli impressed me the most out of the two. So Brazil now have the ball back through Bremer. Now passing again to Fabinho, and now it's Fabinho to Marquinhos, and Marquinhos now passes back down to Martinelli. Now back to Marquinhos. Marquinhos now with the ball, passing again to I think that was Alves. It's Alves crossing the ball forward and almost headed over by Martinelli. I thought it was going to go in, but easily deflected away. But it's over the crossbar, and there was nothing Brazil could do, it seems. So 97.5 minutes now. It's still Cameroon 1, Brazil 0. But Cameroon knew coming into this game that their fate was out of their hands. They needed a win, but they had to rely on other results to go their way. And so far, it hasn't happened for them. It could well be full time soon at the game between Serbia and Switzerland. A couple of bookings for the Switzerland and Serbia. Milinkovic and Xhaka shown the yellow card each. And the ball is now with Ribera, who passes to Guimarães. Guimarães now deflected by Cameroon. Now the ball has been passed back down to Alves, and a cross by Alves to, I think that was Martinelli. And now Brazil going to go, and this is the chance now for Brazil. It isn't. That was by Rafinha, I think. But straight onto his frontal, was it? No, I think it might have been Pedro by the looks of it. And it was actually Guimarães who was elbowed, who was I think kneed into the chest, and down he went, and I think he might well have collided with Apassi, but again I'm not too sure. But it matters little but it doesn't matter now. It's seemingly all out. It'll soon be over, and Brazil will be safe in the knowledge to know that they'll be going through into the round of 16. We're now into the final minutes. It's a throw into Brazil through Alves. That's surely got to be the last action of the game. And the ball has now been sent forward to Marquinhos. Marquinhos now with the ball for Brazil. and a pass to Martinelli, and Martinelli now crossing the ball back in to the 18-yard box, but I think he oversteps it, and that will concede and that will likely concede a goal kick to Cameroon. Chiche, not looking too happy right now, probably nonplussed, and Rigobert Song, I think knows that Cameroon have done all they could, and what an amazing goal by Abu Kabar. But it's all over now. Cameroon have gone, and Brazil have qualified. And Brazil already qualified. They top the group for the round of 16, and they will go through along with Switzerland by the looks of it. Although we still wait for the final result to come through for the other game. We'll let you know when it happens. And I do believe at the stadium 974 it is full time, and Switzerland join Brazil in the round of 16. So well done to them. And it's goodbye to Cameroon and Serbia. Cameroon, they played their hearts out very much in the second half. Despite that goal by Vincent Abu Kabor, it wasn't enough. And the celebration and there's lots of celebratory scenes going on in the going on for Switzerland right now. The celebrations at Brazil pretty much muted, because they knew that they qualified already. There we have it. Group F. Group F done and dusted, as are all the groups for the World Cup. We move on to the round of 16 starting tomorrow. And the first one tomorrow is the Netherlands against the USA with John Stothard and Luke Turton, and Ross Vernon will be presenting that one. Argentina against Australia, hopefully with me in commentary position alongside Paul James. And it's France against Poland on Sunday, where hopefully we'll have somebody alongside Paul James. I'll hopefully be in position for England against Senegal, presenting with JB Stothard and Luke Turton. And if I'm to understand it, it'll be Brazil. Or should that be Group G? Group G. In fact, Brazil will be playing the first game against South Korea, while Portugal will play host to Switzerland. So look out for those games in the coming weeks, and we can now. And for Brazil, they can celebrate for now, but the real business will start in the coming week ahead. Thank you very much to everyone who's tuned into listening. None more so than Paul James. Thank you very much for putting forward your comments, my friend, and I look forward to hearing you and everyone else over the weekend. So thank you very much to everyone for listening. Until then, until tomorrow, good night.